to Creator Spotlight. We are here this week with Utinni, who did one of the first big horror maps in Rec Room and has collaborated on some other fun projects like Mythos Lab for one. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm around 35 years old, so I'm one of the elders of Rec Room, you would say, maybe. And in IRL, I am a animation producer out in Los Angeles. So I work in the animation industry making TV shows and movies.
Oh, that's really cool. I know that you put a ton of work into the sound design in Camp Lone Pine.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't been to Camp Lone Pine, very fun, cute little cabin out in the middle of the lake that you don't want to go into. It's just terrifying.
Yeah, you definitely don't want. There's a warning when you come in about not going into it.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got all the sound design in there? Because it was honestly one of the scariest things that I have been through in Rec Room.
Yeah. So working in the animation industry, I've been an animator and I've made a lot of films in my career, and so sound is a really big component for me. It's really important, and I knew that if I was going to make a scary map that people are going to go through, sound was going to be a big part of it. That was kind of like the big challenge. Was I wanted to create sort of the first map that would scare people. And not because I'm mean, but just because it's fun. You know, it's fun to get scared.
It is.
But I think getting clean audio is really kind of keen. I know it's tough for PlayStation, but PlayStation has a really good microphone. And if you bring your phone up to it, you can usually get really good audio. Not as clean as you would get it right from the source, but you can still get pretty good audio. And the nice thing with the samplers is you're able to adjust the volume and stuff, so I was able to adjust the volume to get, sort of almost like mixing the audio. So depending on where you are, there's certain parts, where the audio is louder or quieter.
Right.
And a lot of the effects and everything I took from a special effect library I have, but online you can go to freesound.org.
Right.
And there's just tons of free sounds that you can get that you can bring in and use. And so I just used a bunch of that and some of the stuff that I had of my own and just went crazy just adding sounds and just testing it. And, I was just in rooms with things screaming at me and it was for a long time, trying to figure it out.
It was certainly very effective. Like the first time I went through it, I actually quit out because I was so scared. And I heard stories of some of the devs screaming in the office. So,
nice. Yeah,
good job there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about working on the Mythos Lab project?
We had a lot of fun with it. The next contest came around, and I think all of us were just kind of like, oh, let's just all get together and make something just epic, And Malcolm Flex, was already kind of had these ideas in his head, and everybody else sort of had ideas, and everyone just sort of brought their ideas to the table, and we, just kind of started building, and it ended up all working together. Because the lab, I pretty much designed it. Pepto really helped out. See, I think that's the good thing about working with people is you get to play to other people's strengths with your weaknesses. I'm not I understand circuits, but I'm not a whiz at it by any means. And so Pepto was helping me to, he helped me a ton to get the movement on the monster, because that monster's animated, so he helped me to animate it. And then Malcolm came in, helped me do detail, because he's really been getting good at getting the tiny details and the little things that make a room really look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, without their help, that room wouldn't have gotten done. So I say thank you to you guys again. You rock.
Do you have a top tip that you would give to new creators?
Yes. I mean, I'm sure, and I've watched a lot of videos, and a lot of people say it, but I agree with it, is just get the maker pen and just start building. These cabins were, the worst thing. That's where I learned how to use the maker pen. They were awful to build. I built one, and it got to the point where the room was, on hold because I couldn't build this cabin. And that's really where I learned how to use the maker pen with the snapping tools, how to use the cloning, and all this stuff that everyone was like, oh yeah, you just do this and this. And I was like, I don't understand. And when I just sat down and started doing it and just making these cabins, then I started getting it. And then it's just, from there it just clicked. And once you really get the feeling of the pen down and how to snap works and everything, it becomes a lot easier to build stuff. And I think the other thing too is just to not be afraid to go out and ask people for help, ask people for advice. I mean, there's so many builders in the community, like Harrison, Marissa, Pepto, Malcolm Flex, Clarity. Like, there's tons of people. I mean, there's Grandpa. I could just keep naming people.
Yeah.
But everybody that I've met are really nice people, and they're willing to always help new people out and give them pointers, and I'm always willing to do it too. Like I love helping new people out with their rooms.
Thanks so much to Utinni for joining us this week. Be sure to like and subscribe below for more Rec Room content, and we'll see you next week on Creators Spotlight. Radio Towers PvP, I've actually never been in, so I have to go check that out.
That was a joke.
Oh, is it just radio, microphones everywhere?
It's just there's a throne, and it's called the Microthrone, and it's a throne made out of microphones, and I just made it. Yeah, we could go there too.